Alpha One Drop Zone presents Honoring Our Veterans, a series of interviewing our military veterans. Our purpose is to reconnect our country with our veterans and our history.
Good afternoon, and part of our expo today, we have another speaker. I'm Steve Gonzalez, Vice President of Marketing, Community Relations at Alpha One Drop Zone. And our next speaker is Chuck Chauncey. Chuck, Army combat veteran, World War II. He flew B-29s. He flew 35 missions over Germany, 35 missions over the Pacific, and also 22 night missions, which is exceptional. So he has quite a story. So at this time, I would like to introduce Chuck Chauncey.
Thank you. Well, I want to start back earlier when we got entered into the war. The Japanese were busy taking one of those countries, expanding, and that started back in the middle of the 30s. By 1939, the War Department decided that they were going to have to fight the Japanese someday. The B-17s and B-24s were being shipped over to England on Lend-Lease. And so in 1940 they started work on the B-29. The B-29 was the most high-tech aircraft of World War II. It was also the biggest bomber of World War II. The B-17s and B-24s were considered the heavy bomber. The B-29 was considered the very heavy. So this had an H in front of theirs, and we had a U-H. And that, in the Pacific there, it was the Second War, really. The European War was going on, and then when the Japs took care of water, that brought us into America into the war. Actually, as I see it, we were all in the war because we were producing some goods that were going over to England, and so when the Japanese hit the British and Pearl Harbor, we were already here to pretty much to fight. There was just about 2 years putting to put the B-29 together. It was, we could carry a 20,000-pound bomb load, and most of the time we had up around 7,000, just 7,600 gallons of high-octane fuel. That was 135 octane. And each new engine on B-29 from low 18 cylinders and 2,200 horsepower engine. We had pressurization. The front section of the 29, I don't know if you can see the picture over here or not, but the front section is coupled to the midsection with a coil tube. That coil tube, you get to the back to the gun position, is 30 foot long. And it's padded, and I'll tell you when you had to go, you went right through that tube to get back to the restroom. It's pressurized, if you don't do eliminations never went outside. So with our crew, the last guy that used it had to empty the can when we got back. Our missions were long. Long Tinian and Saipan, over in the Pacific, there are 3 little dots where the B-29s were. 1,500 miles south of Japan. So they were 2,000-mile missions. To begin with, we had no place to land except back home. About 99% of our mission was all over water, and so it took a very small amount of time that you actually over Japan. And of course, the Japanese did not think that they would ever get hit, you know what I mean? And but at least because those remote cities were so close to the coast, there was no way for them to have the anti-aircraft batteries preceding a lot of the cities. And so actually, most of the firepower came right from the city itself. I was based on the North Field of Tennis, and that was the biggest bomber base in the world at that time. That field was 8,500 foot black top runways, and was accommodated for 250 B-29s. Saipan was about 3 miles north of us. Guam was 100 miles back south of us. The B-29 guns were computer operated, computerized remote control gun sights. So in the big history back here, we had 3 gunners, and in the Central District, you'll see their gun sights. And actually, when you turned on that gun sight, you had a ring of lights that you put around that fiber's wingtips coming in. Of course, the closer you got, that they could keep expanding that circle. And there was computing, there was range out there. And as you increased the circle, 2 minutes, the Gulf were computing the blue line. So we really found big. So every trip for remote control, even the tail gunner was remote control. He was killed, there was a switch on the top gunner seat there that we could put, and either side gunner could operate the tail gunner's 50 caliber machine guns. And we had two bomb bays on that to begin with, when we were doing our missions up around 30,000 feet, which was what it was intended for, a fly. The rear bomb bay, we had to use a rear bomb bay of fuel to be able to complete the mission. And that's some of it was that we had to fly over up there and back, and so our first missions were up around 30,000 plus or minus, and the first missions that we were on, this is one of the times that jet stream that the weatherman talks about every night. We were trying to drop bombs through the jet stream, and they were 250 mile an hour winds. And that would destroy the bomb pattern. We were lucky to get 25 to 30% of bombs into the area. And of course, Washington was just mad in the house. That B-29 project cost $3 billion. That Manhattan project cost $2 billion. And there we were up there looking at the dark side of the barn. And so they were hot and mad. And this is when General May, who had been a general over in the European area, and at the airport, and this was when he dropped us from 30,000 feet down to 5,000 to 10,000 feet into night single ship mission. Even though we saw movement in to the lake, like we did, I should say, because I was down there was no cussing, stomping, yeah, you just can't imagine it. And so pretty soon, I think we began to calm down, you know what I mean? But we felt like we were going to be on kamikaze missions down from 5,000 to 10,000 feet. Because we not only had ambulance satisfied, but she had injected that we'd set out of the the first blitz mission of incendiaries, actually it was 5 missions that 4 cities, Tokyo, Nagoya, Kobe, and Osaka. And the first mission was to Tokyo. And this is considered the deadliest mission of any war to date. We've done 16 square miles that we were assigned to. Tokyo is a huge city, and there's something like 6-7 million people in it. Yeah. And anyhow, we've done 16 square miles, and demographics shows that there lost over 230,000 people, men, women, and children in that one province. From there, we immediately went to Nagoya, and we didn't have a good mission there. There was no surface running, and with Tokyo and others, around 27 mile an hour wind. What do we have here in Wichita? Most 25, 30 mile an hour winds. Our places were doing just like theirs. The only thing that's in our favor is the fact that our homes are spread out, and so the fires have to jump gaps, you know what I mean? And with the 25, 30 mile an hour wind, they'll do that. And that's the reason why the Tokyo is bad. Anyhow, from Nagoya, we went to Osaka and Kobe. They're doing 32 square miles of those cities. The door should have been open at that time, but the Japanese were not surrendering. So actually, by year end, we burned 70 cities over there. And the B-29 was also used in the mining mission. So our wing was asked to do that, I should say. And so we're doing night missions with about 1,000, 2,000 pound mines, about parachutes, in the port bays and harbors and channels. Of course, the subs out on the ends out there, we think they're sitting over 85%. This is probably one of the best blockades against the country that's been run. And I went back to the Kobe raid and their blitz, which was the roughest mission that we had. It was nighttime, and they were going down this channel, and I told the navigator, Jack, where are these mountains coming up to? And he said, why there's no mountains within 150, 200 miles of it? And so I said, okay, it sure looks like mountains to me. And pretty soon, very shortly after that, we run into smoke. And this, the winds were blowing and smoke off the figures down the bomb run. And it's very, very active smoke. To me, it kind of felt like a attic, done and then throw some chicken feathers in it, and that's soon. And so it was very active. And, so we continued on in, as we, continued in, took it rough. And, finally, when we got into the Aztec firestorm cloud, that we were good enough there, our airspeed was dropped to 160 miles an hour. And then, we hit a down there, and those people dropped and jumped up to 330. So those people were just going on there. I don't know how many we went through, but we dropped our road, while we were in it. The front Bombay theater, because we were such low altitude, we could use cherry bombs and both Bombays. And so we made it, we hit the tower stretch again, and the little Bombays triggered except for two. We made a 90 degrees and get away from forward. And then the other two dropped out before we closed the Bombay doors. It's a rear gunner's responsibility to look at the end of the rear Bombays to let you know that all the bombs were out. The radio operator up front, looking at the front Bombays, I'm sure. And so actually, they got home and went through the process of debriefing, and then when we told them what we knew or saw and all this kind of thing, we went to the doc's office and they checked it over, and then you had the choice of going out the front door or the back door. Going out the front door, there was a pretty young lady, that was big lemonade or chocolate water. And if you went out the back door, you're going to have to cut the booze before you went to the door. I think all our guys went out there. Every mission, I don't think that ever changed. But that group was helped John and asked them and said, hey, you know, you practice a wing boat on the school, 2.25 or 2.5 inch boats, that's what the wings on. And so this was when they determined that the planes that they were using in contact with were actually coming apart in these firestorms. And daylight would take about 20 minutes when you start firebombing, and it would be, the smoke would be up to 20,000 feet, and then it would come on 40,000, whatever. And so they were mean, we don't have thunderstorms with great respect to what those were. You imagine they probably weighed, those weight was probably up around 70 tons, and for that big go from 160 to 330, and went back to July, you know that it had to be a terrible storm. Our people dropped. Well, we came back to Mongolia. We bypassed Mongolia. We thought that they were going to bypass, but because Mongolia was so bad, so poor in the bombing, they had a lot more channels together, and with no wind, the bombs were fire point jumping there. the channel. And so we went back again. That time was, I want to say, luckiest mission. Actually, I think everyone was a lucky mission because we just had so much engine calls that we just didn't have time to look out the boat before we started sending them over. And when we got up, there's got B-29 on the front, and they turn it over and it says, "Made in USA, tested over Japan." This was really about the truth. And they were sent to live the truth, but most people all live. And so lots of times I'm jumping around when I shouldn't be. But anyhow, the mission back to Florida, there's a very, very lucky mission for us. We got a ship night in Sunday, and flying all the way across on the other side of the area. We had to fly like that. They were very steady. Well, when we took off, they never got out of there. We just went off there and we went right in and did it. And when we did that, lift and up to took us down. And we went over a small hill. And on out to city, we must have gone 35, 50 miles out to city before we were able to get up enough ice streets and do any climbing. Because some of the big temperatures on takeoff were just, you just see that the temperatures were up on. And so, anyhow, by that time, we had got enough through up to we find out freezing out to going up. Generally speaking, anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000, I'm sure, somewhere along there. And that was to keep from using a lot of fuel. And so we got out away from Kenya in about a couple of hours, and we strolled about. This was a pretty common occurrence. But generally speaking, when you swallow the valve, you would have a bad oil and it would turn into a blazing fire. We didn't have fire. We still had the oil leak, and we didn't have the fire. So we still getting some kind of oil, so we reaching the extra and kept the power to that, and well, we took the weapon while we did it, and on the target. We got up within about an hour of Madrid, and fighters, called up some feathered and killed them and feathered and so all portions of that. And so we used it from the oil supply to the very good crop. And in case you don't know what feathering the crop is, it's turning the crop where it's like straightforward, you cut down with resistance. And lots of times if you didn't get it correctly, failure, they would get the spins so fast they would spin off, actually come loose from flame, maybe a blaze, maybe the full blaze. I think some pictures of blade accident through the fuselage of the plane. And I imagine probably took out the man was Peter and radio operator. But anyhow, we were able to hold the crop. Then we hit the area, we were in searchlights. I understand that. We talk about reading the newspaper, we can do it, in those search lights, very hard to rock, especially at, 7,200 feet. And, the navigator had small window on the side of it up there, and he told us that he actually saw him fire going. Third train engines in the cells and the fuselage. And we had aircraft off, but I don't think those guns to begin with were exactly ours. And so they were firing air at us. And I had no idea how many batteries would be there at around Tokyo. Then we crossed all the way across to the bomb and came back home on syringe. We lost engine 2 times on 3, and the negative was lose 2. We also couldn't maintain level flight with 2 engines. And we got over maybe 29 came off the target and high altitude, and he had a problem with his fuel tank in the bomb area, and fuel pump didn't work, and so he couldn't transfer any fuel. Well, I take it back, he could transfer the fuel, but there were so many fumes in the bomb area that just like igniting another bomb. And so they called it, we said, sure, we doubled back to the change was taken in April of 35, and told that it taken to build us an emergency field. But that took the time we had an emergency field there. But he covered 2 of his inboard engines and 3 of his outboard engines. And it's just different strike. Was 5, and then from the way was high, which is good, and we got back to Regina, and we lost his 3rd engine on the final approach, and when we landed, the 4th engine died. So he was a very, very lucky crew. We had a lot of problems with having the ditch out in the Pacific, and with the station itself, and the destroyers and this type of thing. We actually even had cell phones that picked up crews in Tokyo Bay at the stretch, and ours was everything, and of course, it's a unique situation when you got all these working together, and that's what it's real force. Our crew dropped a 2 million ton of bombs for the Air Forces. The first million ton was dropped over in Europe by B-17 around the world. We dropped a 2 million ton on Stalky Armor, which is a coast boat. So it was a southern area. But of course, we went on the bomb dropped by that medium one, 22 million ton of Persia. Everybody for the ball that they dropped. We did that one mission over the week. We carried 34,000 pound bomb, and it was about this big around, and the biggest things that they were checking to make sure that anyone could carry the atomic bombs, because they were up around 10,000 And so that was the visit election for him as well. And from there, we were 500 pounds. We had 2 fisheries. So it was interesting in some areas where they're opening 500-pound crates. And when you dropped them, when that crate come down to 2,000 feet, there was a charge that exploded and broke the bounds around the crate. This opened up the bombs. I think there was 37 small napalm bombs in there that armed themselves. So when they hit, it just big long path, straight path. And of course, the idea was that the bomb really lay his up next to the fires that he was closest to it. And rather than crisscrossing, that gives you better coverage. And so it's terrible sight to see all those patches all over as they got together. And I don't think that those people had a chance. Those that were getting the chance, there were more people coming. They showed those other people who got there first on out. Those that drowned, because they couldn't, those chances were probably 30, 40 feet deep. And people were crowding underneath the villages that they had, and so those people had a decent chance. But those people tried to get into the river, last fall. And so the mining missions were, this is one, and out of our 35 missions, 22 of them were mine single ship missions. And so I don't know what to tell you. Other than the fact that the Japanese were horrible fighters, and she went there, check out the book for the very book, named Kim, and you'll see how good the fighting is. And it shall our guys on first usage. So I saw one beach on the line getting around, and cut off about 2/3 of the big brother, and it was the most beautiful intersection for him that I ever saw. And then if that plane hit, the pilot jumped out as close as they got, and wings came off the middle, and it just floated in, and beautiful trying to put, and of course we were, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 miles away from them. And all of our guys into their 50s, and they couldn't even get to that distance. But it was 29 flames with slight turn. And he came over the top of our road, about everything was there, 400 or 500 feet above us. We thought he was going back to Japan, but he was able to get it turned around and made it back to the channel. And of course, because he couldn't control the aircraft, the landing, those guys had to go around. I don't know how overall to talk. Talk further.
Well, thank you, Chuck. Let's give a